Welcome back to Trader UK, Adam here. We're back with another 5-minute stock, which I have no doubt will be much longer than 5 minutes. This one wasn't actually brought to my attention by a subscriber, but it is one that I want to bring to your attention following a massive sell-off recently. This here is TPI Composites. They make blades for wind turbines. If you imagine the wind blades that are transported in one piece where they have to close down entire roads and entire towns, and you're probably on the right lines for what they do. In fact, it says here they've made over 62,000 blades since 2001. That's very impressive. The blades they make currently, and I'm sure it's changed over time, but they sell for around $160,000 a piece. So very impressive. Now, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this map on screen, but this is a company based out of the US, but they genuinely have a global footprint. They have manufacturing facilities in Mexico, in India, China, and Turkey, as well as the US, and that allows them to serve all major markets. Wind energy, of course, is a sector that looks set to do very well on the global shift towards clean energy. So long-term outlook for this one looks very good, good for the blades that they produce, but that hasn't stopped them from seizing other opportunities that currently present themselves. You can see here on their website that they are also trying to shift into the transportation market during this current shift towards EVs that we're experiencing. And if you think about their composite structures, which are very strong, very durable, they're lightweight, and they're usually formed in a single piece as well. So they are actually perfectly suited to the EV industry, right the way from the full body components formed in one piece, which we know how much Tesla, for example, like to cut down the number of pieces involved in the manufacturing process, but also suited to like little subcomponents that will go in the battery packs, but they'll help to reduce the weight. They're already working on projects with some fairly well-known companies like Navistar and Workhorse as well, who just missed out on that big USPS contract. Let's take a look at the current share price on the 1-year chart. You can see that it's been on a bit of a run, topping out at 78.74, but if I switch it back to the 1-month chart, you can see Friday alone we saw this stock sell off 22%, and at 47.25 where it is now, that sits 40% off all-time highs. This is a company with a $1.7 billion market cap, revenue for 2020, or net sales there, about the same, just under $1.7 billion. So on Friday, I was kind of looking for that big piece of news that might cause a 22% sell-off in the stock, expecting to find something huge, maybe a piece of political news that's going to stop them doing business, or the loss of a major customer, or a huge earnings miss, but that wasn't really the case. They did announce these earnings on Friday for the final quarter of 2020, which saw actually double-digit revenue growth and double digits on EBITDA as well. Now, the negativity seems to come a little bit later in this report. If I can just find their guidance for 2021, I'm not sure how much of this you'll be able to see, but for 2021, they forecast similar results to what they achieved in 2020, maybe with single-digit growth, which is obviously a slowdown compared to what they've been doing. And I imagine a lot of investors that have kind of piled into clean energy companies are expecting explosive growth, not single digit, double digit minimum growth. The majority of this slowdown seems to center around their Chinese operations, where they say some customers are de-risking and moving operations out of China, and that's in about 1/3 of a cut to their production lines in the country. So we've got a company here whose prospects look pretty flat for 2021. I wouldn't say they look bad, but they look flat. And the stock has shed 40% of its value. So why do I like this one? Firstly, there is too much going on in the background for this company at the moment, things that will favour this company throughout the next decade and then probably beyond that as well. Secondly, despite being in a boom industry, they're not relying on that. The company is ambitious, you can see that. They can see the opportunity in front of them and how their product can work well with other industries. I think it's going to take some time, but the transport side of their business shows a lot of potential for growth. To give you an idea of that, they did just over $30 million in 2020 on that side of the business, but they're targeting between 300 and 500 million over the next 3 to 5 years. And that estimate actually came before their partnership with Workhorse. So if you're thinking about the loss of that USPS contract, that doesn't impact those numbers or those estimates. And in fact, any success that Workhorse do have with future contract bids will benefit TPI and increase that number further. On the downside, there is a lot of reliance on key customers at the moment. Vestas Wind are probably their biggest customer and they generate the lion's share of their revenue. It does seem like the slowdown in 2021 is based on a slowdown for Vestas Wind, so you can already see the impact that one customer can have on the stock price. Secondly, I think a lot of this run up here, a lot of the people that have been piling into this stock over the last year or so were probably expecting, similar returns to a tech play. And that clearly isn't the case here. The scale at which these guys operate mean that you're probably not going to see explosive growth because it's just not feasible on the scale that they operate in a short space of time anyway. But I think over the next decade, we'll see long-term sustained growth and then a more diversified business model. Overall, I think this is a great buying opportunity here. Anything under $50 is good value. If we see the sell-off continue and it gets closer to 40, then I would really start buying heavy. It looks like a stagnant 2021, so don't expect anything in the short term. But beyond that looks very, very positive. So for me, this is a buy now and then just enjoy these low prices. That is everything for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.